Good morning and welcome to Saxo Bank's Market Call. Today it's Wednesday, October 31st. Yesterday we saw Swedish Central Bank hiking their benchmark interest rates by 25 basis points from 3.75 to 4%, and at the same time we saw a release of very strong retail sales from Sweden, and subsequently we saw Swedish krona appreciating. In Germany, we saw unemployment change coming out at 40,000, minus 40,000 versus 30,000, minus 30,000 expected, so there was a bit of a surprise on the downside. In the US, the consumer confidence for the month of October disappointed yet again, coming out at 95.6 versus 99 that was expected. Overnight in Japan, Bank of Japan kept interest rates as very largely expected, unchanged at 0.5%. However, they came out with a statement stating that the earnings, the GDP growth for 2007 would be slower than previously forecast. At the same time, we saw Japanese housing starts for the month of September coming out again very disappointing at minus 44% versus minus 31.2 expected. In the markets, we saw dollar yet again making new lows. Yen was more or less unchanged against the most actively traded currencies, with European currencies again edging higher. Fixed income markets, we saw 10-year contracts in the US losing momentum and seeing some consolidation. And in the equity side, European and US sessions were rather weak as traders were cautious to take any large bets before today's FOMC rate decision. Tech stocks are, however, looking pretty strong, with Nikkei up more than 0.5%. On the commodity markets, likewise, like in equities, we saw some consolidation. However, weak dollar kept both crude oil and gold fairly well bid, yet slightly lower than the all-time highs that were recorded earlier this week. Crude oil was trading at 89.61, gold at 783.53, and silver at 14.21. Today, obviously, we have a very rich calendar, starting already at 9 a.m. with Norwegian retail sales. Then subsequently at 10 o'clock GMT, we have European Community coming out with unemployment rate for the month of September expected at 6.9%. However, the market action is expected to really pick up in the afternoon as we start with the American GDP figures for the third quarter at 12:30 GMT, expected at 3.1%. At the same time, we will see a release of American personal consumption for the third quarter, expected at 3.2%. Half an hour later, 1 o'clock GMT, we will see the Norwegian benchmark rates announced, and we expect them to be kept unchanged at 5%. And obviously the big event of the day, or the week rather, is at 18:15 GMT, with FOMC announcing its rate decision. The general consensus in the marketplace is a 25 basis point cut from the current 4.775 to 4.50. Tomorrow we will see Australian retail sales as well as trade balance figures being published, and from the US session we will be hearing American personal income, personal spending, as well as initial jobless claims. What's going on? As mentioned, traders are by and large cautious to take any large bets ahead of Federal Reserve's interest rate decision. So this has kept the main currencies pretty much range bound. However, dollar was pretty well offered on expectations of the rate cut from FOMC, with euro dollar hitting another all-time high at 1.4455 and cable climbing over 2.07 for the first time actually in 26 years. Equity markets, as mentioned, were also subdued, with Asian and American sessions slightly lower as caution prevailed. Big European banks, however, have given us some mixed signals. We had Deutsche Bank reporting earnings yesterday with 31% profit growth, despite large and bigger than expected write-downs relating to subprime losses, while UBS has stated after its disappointing earnings report that its subprime-related write-downs and losses would probably continue into next quarter. In the US, we saw Merrill Lynch ousting its longtime CEO Stan O'Neill after record earnings losses. Bank of Japan, as mentioned, has kept the interest rates unchanged, but reporting at the same time that the growth forecast for this year would be scaled down to 1.8% from that of 2.1% that was reported half a year ago. We had a two-way breakout play in dollar-yen, but we have already been filled on the upside. We've gone long at 114.80, and we look to add about 115, and we are targeting 115.21 and keeping our stop at 114.60 offered. On the equity side, we look to sell UK company Land Securities. The bear trend remains intact and offers a good risk and reward setup. We will be looking to sell towards 1620 with a stop at 1670, and we will be targeting 1500, which is a 50% Fibonacci level going back all the way to 2002. That is all for today, and do tune in again for FOMC rate decision. Thank you. Bye-bye.